So here's what I really want to say. This is what I really want to tell you, is that this physical reality is in large part, perhaps not in its entirety, but in large part, an illusion. An illusion. What do I mean by that? I mean that you are capable of literally manipulating the way in which this physical expression, this physical life that you live in, actually transpires. Yes, I know. That sounds crazy, right? But this has been verified, authenticated by some of the most brilliant people that we've ever looked to. If you really read into what Einstein, Tesla, Lipton, Braden, so many different individuals, what is being discovered in the quantum field, quantum entanglement, and quantum physics, and the unified field and so forth, you're going to discover that this whole energy realm right here, of which you are a part, is you are capable of actually taking and expressing in a way that will change everything. And that's what I invite you into. Right now is a very significant time. There's a revolution going on. There's a paradigm from the past where we've been taught, I've been taught, many of us have been taught for our whole lives that there is a certain structure to things and it must go a certain way and we must adhere to certain rules and guidelines and laws and so forth. And I'm here to suggest, to invite you to consider, I invite myself to consider these things every day, that, you know what? I think that stuff we've been told, that we've been led to believe is absolute reality, that must be the case, it's less relevant and it's less verifiably true than what it is that our hearts scream into us for all of our life. See, this is our purpose here. It is to transcend these things, these mechanisms. You see dysfunction all over the place, especially now. You can't even pretend any longer that it's just leave it to Beaver days. Those are gone, and you know that. You understand it down deep. And so what I'm inviting you to consider today is a radical departure from that which has, we think we've come to a place where we find a little cozy spot inside the dysfunction. And it almost is like, oh, well, this serves enough for me to be okay here. Well, guess what? I truly believe, and there's many others that do as well, that we are coming to a place right now in this era, in this time period that we're in, where that is no longer suitable for us. It's no longer even feasible. It doesn't even make sense. It's no longer something that would even be, it's not something that when you compare it to that which could possibly be, it is a fool's errand. A fool's errand to set forth on such an idea, on such an ideology, to incorporate that into our lives, because we can set forth. We are in the midst of a revolution, and this is a spiritual revolution. It's an unfolding, it's an awakening that we are all inside of right now, and we are a part of it. If you're hearing this message right now, then you've been called to something greater than what you've experienced thus far, because there is a way in which we can transcend all the dysfunction, all the boundaries, all the difficulties and challenges. I know it sounds crazy, but there's been prophecies about this since since time began. There's been prophecies about this, right? And they call it heaven. They call it bringing heaven to earth. They call it, paradise. There's so many different things that have been referred to, and yet it seems so ethereal in nature, does it not? It seems ethereal, as in you can't even grasp it. You couldn't get to it or set your hand upon it if you tried. And that's the reason, and the reason is because you're not supposed to set your hand to it. It is with the mind. It is with our intention, it is with our heart that we do these things, that we set forth into it. And there's communities around the world, of which we're building one right here, where the express purpose and the intention and the desire is to enter into these energetic states and these understandings and these learnings and this cumulative understanding that we can all share together. And by way of doing so and combining our energies together in a way that is not to fight the old dysfunctional patterns, but to simply transcend them, to simply look in a different direction. So if all the fear is taking place over in some area over here, let's say, then we'll just look over here. Oh, there's love, peace, harmony, joy, happiness, serenity. Oh, it's up the mountain a little ways? Well, let's just walk over there and let the other people bicker it out and fight it out all day long. And in doing so, it literally it takes that energetic state and it disappears from our lives. It's gone. No longer needs to be even touched upon, thought about, or dwelt upon. You know what? When people dwell on something, we talk about like, let's dwell on this or dwell on that. I encourage you to dwell on things that are only uplifting. I know. And some people might say, oh, I'm ignorant, or I'm uninformed or something like this. Well, thank God for that, man. I do not care to be informed about the things that are going to bring me down in my energetic state. How long do I have in this go round on this planet right now? I don't know the answer to that. Neither do you. No, for you. But guess what? I do know. I know that the moments that I do get here, the breaths that I do get, if I fervently and passionately and committedly focus my attention and spend my energy in a direction that is uplifting and encouraging, then that, as a byproduct of doing so, I'm capable of bringing those elements to other people as well. And I also experience those in my own life. But if I focus my attention on all the negativity and heartache and hardship, then that's what my life is filled with. And I don't care for that. I don't care for it. And of course, there's a balance there. But the balance is weighted heavily in favor of not dwelling upon those things. Because when we dwell upon something, what is a dwelling? A dwelling is where you live. It's where you reside. Let's make our dwelling on the things that are uplifting, encouraging, empowering, inspiring. Let's dwell in love. Let's dwell inside of love rather than dwelling inside of fear, chaos, confusion, conformity. God forbid conformity. And just trying to find some little, eke out a little bit of comfort inside of all the madness. No, that's not what we're here for. That is not what we're here for. So I'm encouraging you, I'm inviting you to consider today that your life changes now. Today's the day. This is the invitation. Come on with me. We're doing some radical things over here. There's some people that are bringing to us ideas and concepts, and not even just from like today, right? Some of these concepts come from years ago, maybe decades ago, maybe lifetimes ago. There's plenty of people that have brought to us understandings about life that we kind of like didn't really understand. We didn't grasp it, but now's the time that we get to step into it fully. And see, we want to try and have both ways. We want to have it both ways. We want to both step into the new age, We want to actually transcend these barriers. We want to really live free. We want to live free in our heart and our soul and our spirit and so forth. But, I still do need a Lexus. And there's nothing wrong with having wealth and lots of amazing things, abundance of all kinds. But that is not the focus. The focus is to identify what really matters. And I'm telling you, once we start looking behind, what stands behind the things, right? Somebody might say that they want to win the lottery. Well, I'm going to call BS on that. I don't think they do. I think that they want a feeling. What stands behind winning the lottery? If it was inert, if it was impotent winning the lottery, what if you won a lottery of a currency that was defunct and it actually did you no good and you won nothing? Well, that would actually be a letdown, wouldn't it? Right? So winning the lottery is not what somebody wants. Having a bunch of money is not what somebody wants. What if the money was devalued tomorrow? It's not what they want. What do they want? They want a feeling of security, of importance, of exuberance, of excitement. They want the feeling, and we can access these feelings with or without this winning the lotto. You know that we all won the lotto? You've won the lotto. You win the lottery every single moment that you take one of these. You're a lotto winner. Yep. A billion, trillion, gazillion miracles took place in that one breath that you just had. And here's another one coming up for you. Bam! There you have. There's another one. But you know what? You can spend those miracles on drudgery, heartache, fitting in, conformity, doing the same old, living the same old humdrum life like over and over again every day and calling it like waiting for the weekend. Thank God it's Friday because now I get to stop doing the things that I actually loathe doing and I get to actually spend a couple of days doing something that I care about a little bit. But I've got to tell you guys that if you literally live your life like that, you can't even possibly touch into what you really care about on those couple of little days that you get off because you're not capable of digging that deep, of getting that far on that little amount of time. It's not even possible. It's not possible. You got to spend diligent effort on this stuff. And if there's something that's pulling you down or bringing you down, or if you're spending your life doing a whole bunch of things that are absolutely opposed to what you really care about in your life, then I got to suggest that you change it. I've got to suggest that you change it. For you, I got to tell you, I spent a long time, 36 years of my life, living that life, doing a whole bunch of things that I did not care about, thinking that somebody else had the formula that was going to suffice for me, satisfy my life. And it never happened. It never worked. It never worked. And the only reason that I'm capable of digging down deep and finding this passion to talk about these things, about transcending and getting to a place that really actually means something, is because I've spent a lot of time away from the noise, from the chaos, from the rat race, from the daily grind, the confusion of it all. To finally get to the place where, you know what, I finally realize, wow, there's very little value there. Very little. There's very little value there. Sure, we could say that there's value in some of it. Very little, though. Very little. Let's be honest about it. There's very little value in that. What do you really care about? There could be somebody out there. There's plenty of people, as a matter of fact. If you look at the stats, matter of fact, the people that have just tons and tons and tons of whatever resources, right? Abundance of like wealth, let's just call it, of financial resources. And if they haven't spent the time to derive and nurture and nourish some spiritual resources, some energetic resources, some relationship resources, then they're bankrupt. They're bankrupt. They could have all the money in the friggin' world. And if they haven't done this work that I'm talking about right now to find out what they really care about in life and going for it 100%, then they're bankrupt. You don't need to be bankrupt. You don't need to. I'm suggesting you today that you can actually be the wealthiest person on the planet. You don't even have to have $1 in your pocket. You don't have to have any of that stuff. No, this isn't a call to be, a destitute, whatever, the monk, Mother Teresa, living in an attic somewhere. No, this is not about that. All of us should have abundant wealth, physically speaking. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. That makes very little difference in the end if there's not a huge reservoir of love and joy, peace, happiness, relationship, connectedness. All these things, that's what really makes up a life that's worth living. Don't get caught up trying to carve out this one little piece and make it so important in your life. Whatever that might be, fitting in and making enough money to keep up with the Joneses or something like this, and conforming and kind of like, you just keep chopping your standards down, the standards that you have for your life, the things that you really care about, like, I can probably just, maybe I'll get back to that someday. I don't need to do it right now. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as I, have a bigger house, then I'll do it. Guess what happens? You have the bigger house, now you have a bigger mortgage payment, or you have bigger responsibilities. You get 3 or 4 cars, you get a brand new car, now you got more stuff to pay for, more stuff to keep up and maintain. That's not the answer. That's not the answer. The answer is to find the balance. And I'm inviting you to consider that the balance is weighted heavily in favor of the intangibles. The intangibles that you can't just log in on a piece of paper and figure out, oh, yeah, did I meet that success metric today? No, you can't do it with a pencil and a piece of paper unless you're logging in what joys that you were thrilled to discover and take part in today. Then, yeah, of course, you can look at your journal, your entries, and say, man, I'm living an amazing life. I'm loving every moment of it. But if you're trying to figure that out and quantify it in dollars or euros or pesos or something like this, it's not the way. It's never going to be the way. It's never going to be the way. And you'll discover that at some point. I don't need to prove it out to you. You'll discover that at some point. So here's the call out. Here's the invitation today. Maybe, there's plenty out there that might think that I'm a little kooky. I'm a little crazy to talk through these things. But no, this is what matters. This is really what matters. We're going to find in a very short period of time, after we've gone through this upheaval that's taking place, this pendulum swing, this paradigm shift, there's a lot of racket out there, right? A lot of it will lead you to believe that fear is the way. Got to just touch into fear. Be afraid every day, all day. Just be afraid. Now, when all of this, the dust settles on this, we're going to find that there's majesty, joy, splendor to be had. But not inside of those things that we've been led to believe are important. No, the things that we know down deep, intrinsically in our heart that are important. Nothing can replace that. Nobody, no textbook, no academic certification, no course, nothing like that can take the place of your own intuition and what you care about the most in life. That's what's going to make the difference. That's what's always going to make the difference. Don't believe somebody for the sake of believing them. Take counsel for sure. There's a lot of value in guidance, in advisors, in counselors, right? In mentors, in people that have been down the road a little ways. In fact, in order for us to achieve the level that we really want to, we've got to pull from the experiences that other people have had. Or else we have to just redo the whole thing every time? No way, man. We're learning based upon what's come before, but there's no reason to settle in and just stay where they're at, where they came to. No, that's why we keep building. The concept of building is like this. What we're building right here is a big workshop and some little hotel areas and some other things. And the concept of building is that we're going to actually build upon what came before. We can't build the second story of this building right here before we built this foundation, right? We can't build the first story before the foundation's there. You can't build the roof before you've built the second story. You've got to build upon. It's a progression. It's a progressive thing. What a joy that people have been doing this before us so they could deliver us valuable content that we can build upon. And now here we are, and you're being invited. Today's the day. So I'm thrilled for you because your life changes right now. Today is the day that you either are going to take up this cause, this worthy ambition, this worthy aim to really find out what you're here for in life, what you really care about most, why you are here at this time period in this existence, this swirling, spinning, beautiful game of life. Why are you here right now? You get to engage in that, explore it, discover it. Or, and if you do, let me say just first, there's only two options. The first one is discovery, exploration, digging down deep, finding out what you're here for. The second one, just doing the same thing you've been doing. The first one, you're going to achieve massive results that like nothing you've ever experienced before in your life, guaranteed. Something you'll be thrilled with as the days go by. And the other one, just doing what you're doing. Just keep scrolling the feeds and flipping the channels and just keep trying to accumulate more, and maybe it'll fill the gap and fill the hole that you got or whatever. Just keep doing the same old thing. Then you're gonna keep getting the same old thing. And not much is gonna change. And you'll keep getting older. You'll keep getting grayer. But that's about it. That's all that's gonna happen. More wrinkles, right? More bills and all these things. But we can transcend all this. It's a joy and a privilege.
Do you see something in my eye?
I do see something in your eye. It's called the universe, and it's called beauty and love and splendor and joy. I see it all in your eyes, baby. This is your day. This is your invitation. Come on with us. We're doing some fantastic things. And we need you. We need you. You're not insignificant. You're not insignificant. We're about to go cut some cake. It's my son's birthday. I'm going to leave you with lots of love and an encouragement. Strength and honor. Go for it today. 100%. Give it all you got. Don't hold anything back. You'll never regret that. You'll never regret that. You'll never regret it. But you may very well look back someday, if you do nothing right now, and you look back and go, man, what would have been? What could I have accomplished? What could I have done if I just went for it? Your life changes today. Right now is the time. You can never go back to saying or claiming that you didn't know it was possible. Now you know it's possible, and you know you can do it. Right now is the time that you get to do it. Right now. Don't put it off for tomorrow. Tomorrow may very well never come. Who knows? Either way, what you build into today is something that you can continue building on tomorrow. You build nothing today, man, you're starting from scratch then. That sucks, man. Go for it now.